Your eyes are not deceiving you. That is the new intro for Popcorn and Root Beer. It's quick, it's to the point, and just like us, we are very excited to be here and get right to the point of this episode, which is a review of sorts of Jurassic World Rebirth, the newest in the long, maybe too long, according to some people in this stream's opinion, line of Jurassic Park movies. My name is Steve. I am your host tonight, and joining me tonight, they need no introduction, but it is my job to do so. Trash Sandwiches, Jake Perry, joining me tonight for a rewatch. Trash, how have you been? It's the first time doing a rewatch for you since Wicked, I think.
Probably. It's been a minute. Yeah, it's nice to be back. I do have on a Jurassic Park shirt in honor of this. If something chases you, run. Had to. Anyway, excited to be here and back with y'all.
Jake, how have you been?
I've been good. As you guys know, I had a little bout of vertigo yesterday. That was fun.
Yes.
But
threw off our recording time terribly. So we'll dock it from your paycheck. It's fine. It's no big deal.
How can you dock nothing from nothing?
We fine you or something. I don't know. All right.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Are you guys ready to talk Jurassic World?
Ready to do something.
All right, let's get into it. This thing has a 50% Rotten Tomato score, 70% popcorn meter. So the critics, not a fan. The fans, not as much of a fan either. That's not a ringing endorsement overall. $200 million budget, made $870 million across its run in the box office. Jurassic World Rebirth is the first film in the series to not include any returning characters. No Jeff Goldblum, no Sam Neill, no Samuel L. Jackson, no Newman from Seinfeld, nothing. No BD Wong.
Nothing. Literally nothing.
Brought no one back. All right, here's some interesting ones, though.
Also, random question. Am I high, or did this retcon a lot?
We'll get to that. Bring that up later because we will answer it. All right. So various actors were considered to play Zora, including Jennifer Lawrence, who turned down the role. Scarlett Johansson was already a fan of the franchise and had been trying to join Jurassic Park for more than a decade.
Why?
Why is that her goal? Yeah.
She just, you know what? Because Scarlett,
you're in the Marvel universe. Why join a different one?
I think she's a franchise chaser. She's a franchise
chaser.
It's a stable paycheck. So she knows she's probably got 3 of these in her pocket now. So while Rebirth was in development, she arranged a meeting with Spielberg and pitched the idea of joining the cast in some capacity. Edwards, the director, after signing on, learned of Johansson's interest and immediately cast her as Zora. Immediately. We'll dive more into. I feel like Scarlett will come up a few times.
Mm-hmm.
But before we kill her, let's show a little love first. MVP of the movie. We're in the categories. We've started.
It was so easy for me. And it's the visual effects of the movie. Everything looks great. The dinosaurs look great. The set where they filmed, everything about the actual visual aspect of the film was beautiful. When you compare it to a lot of the rest of the movie, it was so clear that that deserved to be the choice. And it was also the first Jurassic Park since The Lost World to actually be nominated for Best Visual Effects as well. And I made my choice before I knew that. So the Academy agreed with me.
So so you feel vindicated in a way.
Yeah. I do think that the visual effects definitely comes into play. I had dinosaurs as the MVP, just dinosaurs. I think they really are.
That was almost my pick.
That's a great pick for MVP. Because we don't get this without them, right? Big old Well, we thought lizards. Now they're kind of more like birds, I guess. I don't really know. I don't think science has agreed totally on what dinosaurs fully looked like. Although have you watched the new Netflix series Dinosaurs? The Dinosaurs?
No.
What do they have them like there?
Wants to.
It's pretty neat, but like they're like, we can tell from their fossils that this dinosaur was green. I'm like, how the fuck can you tell from the fossils?
Definitely can't tell.
Like, what the hell does that mean? Like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
I gave the MVP to a person. Bold. Shocking as this may be. I gave it to Mahershala Ali.
Yeah, that is a good choice.
If you're gonna pick one, that's the right choice.
I mean, like he was the only one. All right, I'm not gonna. So I'm not gonna knock too many actors in this too much, because that's not what we do. We're here to celebrate the movie. We're here to break down the movie. We will point out where it has flaws and make fun of it a little bit, but it's all in good fun.
I will say, like, this very well, and we'll talk about this more later, but it very much felt like the actors did what they could with what they were given. Like, I just don't feel a lot of it was set up for success. Like, obviously the box office, it went well for them. I just don't think, I think this could have been done way better, and it just wasn't.
We're transitioning then, because you've led me right to my, we called it the LVP. We've called it the Gal Gadot Award. That felt mean. And so I've renamed it again to the Weak Link Award. And that's what it's going to stay. It's just the weak link in the film. And to Jake's point that these actors did what they were the most with what they were given. The weak link in this movie is exposition dumps. Basically that entire boat scene.
Yeah.
I did not understand what the writers were doing when they were like, it's like, I couldn't go to my mother's funeral. Oh, what are you talking about? You picked now to bring that up?
That, and why'd we get like 9 different monologues?
They all had to give their backstory. Everyone had a backstory. Well, not everyone needs a backstory.
It was like nobody discovered a backstory. Nothing was like unraveled as the film went on. It was all just like monologue dump to another like trauma dump on a character.
In that scene,
well, here, as you know,
they sat in a circle and were like, yes, like they sat in a circle and were like,
it was like an AA meeting on a boat. They were like, I'm Jake. Hi, Jake.
Yeah. No, literally. And
what's your backstory?
So not only do you get the tragic backstory of Zora and then Kincaid with his, when she's ever like, please tell me you worked things out with whoever the fuck his wife's name is. And then he's like, every time I looked at her, I just saw our little girl. Like, what the fuck? Then you get Jonathan Bailey sliding in there being like, science is for everyone. Or like, you know what I mean? Like there was way too much going on in that scene. And I'm going to dive more into that like down the road. But yeah, exposition dumps were the weak link of this movie. Trash, what was yours?
It's the villain. What's his face? Like, he was so forgettable. He was forgettable. His mission was forgettable. All he wants is like money. Give me a better motivation. Yeah. Maybe that's like a bad, but like
that's a good one.
He's very two-dimensional. He's like, I'm doing this for the pharmaceutical money. We love pharmaceutical money. And like, he doesn't get the tragic backstory. He doesn't get anything.
Nope. He did not join the circle of trust, as it were, at that table.
No.
With Scarlett and Kincaid, who have been friends for 20 years, and then the 4 strangers they found at sea. And then like, who, by the way, trashed that table, like just made that place their absolute filth mess. Like, what a bunch of filthy beasts.
What was up with that stoner kid? Like, why did he go on the trip? Why was he there? Why did the girl invite him?
I have more questions about that. Like when we get to like our like what is it called? The Armageddon Award. I will cover that more because I have so many questions about that family in general. Like thousands of them. Like the whole movie I sat there and I was really bothered by it. Jake, what's your Weak Link Award? I like the Weak Link Award, by the way. Isn't this nice? It's nicer than really putting Gal Gadot on blast.
It felt kind of deserved after that performance. I'm kidding, Gal. We love you.
Do we?
We should call it the Wooden Ladder in Horror Movies Award because it always breaks. The wooden ladder always breaks.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Thanks. I was playing Resident Evil and it didn't happen in this one.
Send that to the Slack channel because like I like that.
It's a good one. But yeah, the storyline, it's just dumb. The entire premise of this film is so stupid. It makes no sense and it's dumb. We have plenty of animals that live a long time. Why do we pick dinosaurs to be the one? They're extinct. We had to scientifically bring them back to life. Why don't we just use the science that we used to bring them back to life? It makes zero sense.
And not just any dinosaurs, but the biggest dinosaurs in the world. Like, you just had to go to the worst of them.
It's also not is illogical. Rationale.
It's illogical. Bigger animals live shorter lives.
Well, I guess, all right. So I actually did look this up because I was curious. They did live a long time. These big ones. They really
The green ones?
The green ones. Yes. But here's the problem. There are sharks that were not genetically engineered by some like fucked up theme park that have lived 500 years. Wouldn't you go find a Greenland shark instead? They're pretty docile.
Tortoises that live hundreds of years.
Yeah, you did not have to go after dinosaurs for this.
And they're also giant.
They're also giant. It's right there in the name. They are giant tortoises. Like, boo.
Even like a blue whale. I feel like you could have just done blue whales.
Whales live a long time. Like, those, and it's like, but there is truth to dinosaurs had this weird absence of heart disease. That I can say. But when something lives 500 years, they probably also don't have all that much heart disease.
How do we know that they didn't have heart disease?
I don't know. I am not
from
a paleontologist.
The same bones that make them green. I'm
not a paleontologist. I do not know how they did this. I am not
them
Ross
green
from
bones.
I am not Ross from Friends.
Why don't we just paint our bones green? Just give me something to make my skin green. Apparently that makes you live a long time if we're talking about dinosaurs.
That's fair. Jake, Portal Scene Award, best scene in the movie.
My favorite scene was the scene where they are on the raft getting chased by the T-Rex, and then the T-Rex like eats the raft, and the dad's like, no, and then everybody was fine.
And the raft was fine.
Yeah,
which was also really bizarre.
We're gonna talk about that later because I have something that would have made this movie better.
That's a funny Portal Scene Award because that scene actually made me mad. From the sleeping T-Rex, and oh my god, can I nitpick for just a second?
Absolutely.
I hate when giant things sneak away. When they're like, where'd it go? That thing was thumping around. That thing would have been clomping around, making all sorts of fucking noise. Yeah. It went from in the first one, like it was causing ripple effects in the water, right? Like that's the whole thing that the T-Rex is coming. You can feel it. It snuck off. You lost a T-Rex. Not one of them was watching it and being like, hey, listen, it's like not there. It's over there. Like you don't lose a T-Rex.
That's the other thing.
It's not your fucking cat.
That's the other thing.
You lost a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Dude, it pisses me off so often in movies. And it happens in every fucking movie where we have something like this, the big bad, and literally big and bad. And there's a group of people. Why doesn't one person keep an eye on it? Like, why are we all
caught up in their human drama?
I don't give a shit.
Why did
I could have found out that my wife was cheating on me? My kids hate me. That my sister has been sleeping with my husband. If I'm a female or male, I don't know. That could all be happening, and my brain is going to go, that could kill me. I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah. No, there was a lot of questions. Why did they send her by herself and then be like, you got to be quiet when you're dragging it? Get off your ass. Go pick up the other side, and it'll move silently. It will move silently. Also, another nitpick. Man, I swear we don't normally do this, but this movie kind of had me in my feels a bit. That guy broke his ankle like 6 hours before the events of this movie really kick into gear, and was running on it. Your adrenaline has long come down. It can get you through the initial. He would have been much better off on that boat and much more useful in that moment than he was. 6 hours later, a day later, that thing is swollen. It's lost all sorts of functionality. I'm coming at this from just a purely medical standpoint. Like I'm telling you right now, that drove me crazy. And he's also just, Jake, we didn't put it in the thing, but all right, we're going to do it without the little thing at the bottom. Is he in the
Yes.
Is he qualifying for the Ethan Hawke Bad Dad Award?
Absolutely, he is.
Yes. Yes.
Trash, you think
he willingly took his kids, put them on a boat, and rode the boat in a place that you're not supposed to be.
Why did the mother say yes to that? Because I believed up until the point where he mentions.
Oh, Trash, we randomly lost your voice.
You muted yourself. I'm going to continue because he is a bad dad. I'm going to put him right up there with Ethan Hawke, maybe even renaming the category entirely after him with how bad of a parent he is.
No, it's Ethan Hawke still deserves the award. We just have more track record of movies and shows where Ethan Hawke is a bad dad.
That's true. He is pretty awful generally in that.
It's
all
up
right.
there.
We're going to get more into it, but I'll give my scene. Hi, Trash. You are back. I have the opening scene as my portal scene. Poor Snickers guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of gets fucked up. And fuck that lady, by the way, who didn't let him out of that.
Would you have?
Absolutely.
Nah.
No.
Nope.
I absolutely am I'm turning the key. I'm being like, and I'm running. I'm turning the key and I'm running. And like, you're not making it, but I'm not
running from.
I ain't outrunning a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Whatever dramatic ass dinosaur is hiding in that mist.
Here's the thing.
You see it. You see it right there. He is not hiding. He is about to.
I wouldn't have let him in. Why'd he go in?
I don't know. Here's the thing.
Him.
I'm fast. I am the fastest person on this podcast, without a doubt. No offense to either of you. No, I'm just fast. I'm faster than a good amount of human beings. I ain't outrunning a single dinosaur.
I don't have to outrun the dinosaur. I just have to outrun him.
No, that dinosaur.
What's the point of letting him out of the room?
I would feel better about myself.
I wouldn't.
No.
I'd be like, oh damn, I let a dinosaur out, and then it kills like 6 other people. That was my fault.
That's true. That's, you know what? Yeah, it's your fault for going in. You've swayed me. He stays.
Yeah.
Trash, what's your portal scene award?
His fault for the candy part too. Which, how much money did Snickers pay for that product placement?
Probably $1 million.
Yeah, they may have paid Scarlett. Like that's a solid commercial for Snickers.
Oh yeah. My portal scene award though is definitely when the family is on that sailboat and the Mosasaurus and tips him over like that. Whew, that like freaks me out. I don't really like the ocean and sea things and whatever. Like I get boat sick. That whole scene, I'm like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die right there on the boat with them.
It's rough. It's rough. That is a great scene. They did a really good job with that. Questions aside, it's very well done.
Yeah.
Rationale aside, like you have to buy into the movie, right? Like you kind of have to let a lot of stuff go.
Every movie, suspend your disbelief. The people are dumbasses.
I think this movie took it. I'm usually like it's like that 2-step suspension of disbelief. This movie asked us to take like 6, and that's where I really ran into a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I can certainly suspend my disbelief. When I have to start suspending my disbelief 35 seconds into the movie, like you're asking a lot out of me.
Yeah,
at least let me build rapport with one character first.
Yeah, it was a lot. I didn't have a Defying Gravity award.
No.
Okay, great.
The only thing that should be Defying Gravity is the power button to my television. By just permanently staying off instead of putting this movie on.
I won't make comments about it. You went for it. You tried something out. I appreciate the effort. All right, Blinken, you missed a gem that's hidden detail that's gold on rewatch. Did you guys have any?
Yes.
I also have one.
And we just talked about it. The Snickers bar, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Mm-hmm. That guy ate a Snickers bar, and so did the dinosaur, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Oh, clever.
It did really make me want Snickers. So
I don't like Snickers bars.
You gotta freeze them. Frozen Snickers bars, so good.
Mm.
If you don't like nuts, that's fair.
Yeah. Milky Way then.
I love Milky.
I love a Milky Way.
Milky Way Midnight, especially.
Oh yes,
yeah, they're great.
So good, crazy good, right?
So underrated. 100 grams, still better. But
I also like a Three Musketeer bar. Big fan.
No,
I've got to be in the mood for them.
I'm always in the mood for one. But okay, Trash, do you have a blink and you miss it?
I do not.
I have one. The school bus is Crichton Middle School. Crichton is the name. Michael Crichton is the author of Jurassic Park.
I do appreciate when movies do stuff like that. Like I watched this really terrible, like it's a Tubi original for reference horror movie, and it's so bad. I don't even remember the name. It's about the dark web and like a red room. It's horrid. It's so bad.
I watched a Netflix original that it was bad enough that I think we should do it as one of our reviews. It's called Girl Haunts Boy. And
even the name.
Let me tell you, I was enthralled the entire time. Michael Cimino stars in it. Fantastic job. He did everything he could. He tried to carry that movie right out of purgatory. It didn't work, but I think we should absolutely do it. We should have him on and review that movie.
But it's called The Deep Web Murder Show is the name of this movie. But they so it's like it's a horror movie or attempting to be one, but they do like Carpenter Lane, the county that they're in. I'm blanking on it, but it's also like they're all references. Every location
it's like something
is
like Craven County or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like everything is a reference to a horror movie, and I don't. That. It doesn't make a bad movie good, but I appreciate it. It's the that's the type of fan service that I like.
Yeah,
I agree. All right, the McConaughey and Dazed and Confused Vibes Only Performance Award. I feel like there's only one answer.
There's only one answer. It's David Iacono as
David Iacono as Xavier. He stoned the whole movie. Brother stoned the whole movie.
We've got some weed. It got a little damp though.
Comes out the gates throwing 105. Let me tell you, when the dad's like, "I've been up all night. It's your turn at the wheel," and he's like, "Bruh,
let me sleep another hour.
Like I'm tired."
Yeah,
I'm like,
I've been doing it all night.
You are keep going. You're in the middle of the ocean. You're in the middle of the ocean. This man has graciously allowed you on his boat. Like, why? Right? Like, and I don't know. I would have turned into Moana, and I would have been like, "I am Moana of Motunui. You will board my boat and sail it, motherfucker."
I would have thrown him off the boat, to be honest.
There's no fucking way that kid didn't get tossed overboard a day earlier, 2 days before that. Like, no way.
2 days into the trip.
Yeah, easy. And that, oh my God. And you know what? Annoying daughters. She's up there. She's up there.
Oh, yeah.
For annoying teenage daughters.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
That whole family kind of pissed me off.
They weren't a good
family. The little kid was fine, but like...
Well, she was a mute for half the movie. I mean, how annoying could she possibly be?
Yeah.
Like, Trash, do you have someone else who kind of vibed out this movie?
No, I feel like he's the vibes.
He is. It absolutely... Cam Cameron from The Summer I Turned Pretty.
He looked so... God damn it.
Yep.
Cam Cameron.
Cameron.
There you go. I you know what? I love doing this shit on the show, and I just like I love bringing some light to like all these little actors. He was good in it. I don't think he was bad in the movie. He was vibing. That's all.
It was his role. He did his role well. Like he vibed.
Yeah. All right, Jim Carrey meter for how amped up did the star of the movie get? This is an impossible kind of category. It makes no sense, but we try to answer it every single time.
I love this category.
I love this category because there's no right answer. It's like, and it makes no sense. It's not a sensical answer. Trash, this is your first time doing the Jim Carrey meter.
Yeah.
Do you have an answer?
I'm going to go with what comes to my gut as soon as you said it. And I was like, it's Bruce Almighty.
Oh, all right.
I can see it. Yeah.
We shouldn't play God, but we did. And now we have to deal with the consequences.
Yeah, no, that's a very accurate.
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
Is that the best Jim Carrey meter answer we've gotten so far?
I think so. Yeah.
Like that's a really solid one. I mean, Joey made an attempt at it last show, but I think that might be a better one. Like it tied in directly the whole way. It was really nice.
Yep.
To be honest, it just like came into my head as you were talking. I did not have that planned in advance.
That's even better. That's amazing. I have it at a solid 4. I have Scarlett at a solid 4. She yells a lot. She screams a lot. She turns it up, like not nearly enough to be like a upper echelon Carrey, but certainly enough to be registering on the meter. The Richter scale, the Jim Carrey scale, it shooketh.
So what movie is that?
Yeah.
It's tough because it's probably like second act, like second half Liar Liar.
Okay. Yeah. I almost went with Liar Liar, but I went with Fun with Dick and Jane.
Oh, that's a better one. That's a better one. And that's about a 4 on the Carrey scale.
Exactly. Yeah. It's about where I was. And I was like, Fun with Dick and Jane Fields right here.
I love that movie too. That's actually a weird movie
underrated.
that I love. Yes.
Ages.
It's so good. I love it. All right, this is a new one. Trash, you get a couple new ones. Because it's kind of fun. Is there a better title for this movie?
Yeah, I retitled it Jurassic World, We Tried.
Okay.
Like, because they tried to make a movie.
Yeah. Okay. No, I get
it. They technically succeeded. This is better name just came to my head. The Class Project. Because like this movie put in like the zero effort and still gets to say it's part of the Jurassic lineage of film.
I feel like my hot take Hall of Fame moment is going to make you mad, Jake. But I have a better title for this, and it's one that's already used in the series.
Okay.
This to me would have been much better to be named The Lost World Jurassic Park.
I can see that.
It's way better than Rebirth. Rebirth should have been like an original title. They're like, oh, we brought the dinosaurs back to life. Like that makes sense.
Yeah. Rebirth. The whole time I was like, what is the rebirth in question?
The titling of this is like Bad Boys for Life being the third movie, knowing they were going to make a fourth movie.
Yeah. Like, I know that like the problem is that they said we're rebooting the movie. It might as well have been Jurassic World rebooted. Like that's what they did. Yeah. That's the exact same thing. That's why it's Rebirth. It's a new spin on Jurassic World. So I'm not pleased with it. Trash.
Jurassic World Defibrillator.
Well, so then that kind of goes to mind because I kept thinking it needs Journey in the title. And I think then if you do it a new franchise and you call this the Jurassic Journey, and there it is.
I love an alliteration.
Exactly. And then that starts like the whole new franchise, and then they can do Jurassic Journeys into different places.
You know what else I think they should have done is that because there are so many islands in Jurassic World, each Jurassic World or park or whatever should have been named after whatever island they were going to. Just be like Jurassic World, Isla Sora, right? Like bang,
I know,
you got it.
Every time I'm like, is this what island is this? Do I know which island? Have I seen
Why
this
didn't they just do that?
Same one?
Straight.
Yeah, I don't know. All right. It's officially a category, guys. Would you survive the movie?
Yes.
No.
I'm surviving the movie because I'm not getting on the fucking boat.
Yeah. All right.
Well, that's fair. I'm not going to the equator.
All right. Let me explain the rules of the category because it's my category and I get to make the rules. So you have to participate in the events of the movie.
Oh, even if I do, I'm surviving.
Are you?
If that dumb fucking family survives,
they survived on a lot of plot armor.
And guess what? I get it too.
I don't know if they're giving you the plot armor.
I don't know.
I have survival skills greater than a dead cat.
I mean, okay, so by that logic, sure. But by my actual strength and skills in like a realistic Jurassic World scenario, absolutely fucking not.
Yeah, no, I'm not surviving this movie. I say I would have been killed. If I had to participate, I would have been killed. I'd probably kill at least one person before I go, though. Like, I'm taking that fucker out. There's
Rupert
Rupert Friend. There's no way I'm letting some pharmaceutical rep outlive, not pharmaceutical rep, like pharmaceutical CEO billionaire outlive me like this. No way.
Why?
If I'm
when
in
I
a
start
situation,
getting chomped, I'm taking him with me. I would hold on to his leg.
Like.
Probably because they assumed that like his connections or something would get them out. Like they're not gonna let the rich guy not come back with the stuff. I don't know.
That's fair.
But if I'm in this situation where I'm getting invited on this trip, I probably am the pharmaceutical rep. Like that's the most likely role for me out of everything. I'm not gonna be like an ex-special forces member.
Sure.
I'm not getting on a boat in general, so I'm not gonna be the family. Like my most likely scenario is that I ended up in pharmaceutical sales and that's how I get involved in this.
I hate to say it. I feel like if I'm anyone who died in this movie, I'm definitely not the guy who dies rappelling down a mountain because I'm terrified of heights. I wouldn't do it.
Same.
I'm probably the guy who dies first on the boat where I'm like, I didn't really know what we were getting into. And then this big dinosaur jumps up and just eats me. And I'm like, shit. That sucks.
Another thing that pisses me off about movies, and it happened in a movie that I watched yesterday that I enjoyed, where like something deadly is coming towards them, and they're just like, "Oh shit!" Like he had plenty of time to get out of the way.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know why I would die in this movie? Because I would have been gawking at Jonathan Bailey the whole time.
Fair.
Valid. Fair.
Like, I'm not aware of my surroundings. I'm staring at him, being like, what's his deal? Why is he like going after this? Why is this obviously gay man going after this very pretty lady?
Why was he doing? Because he never once seemed motivated by anything other than the dinosaurs themselves. And I'm like, buddy, you're risking your life to go see dinosaurs up close and personal, basically because she like double dog dared you.
For real.
that was a bad. He had no motivation either.
Imagine dying. Your life's work is useless now because nobody gives a shit about dinosaurs.
Yeah, she's
so
like,
you can see one if you're not.
Your museum's closing. It's like, I'll work at another one. Yeah. If I'm important enough that you're coming to me, I'm probably pretty employable overall. Mm-hmm. All right, another new one. The Ellie from Up Award for one character death that would have devastated the viewer. Trash, you get to bring us to the inaugural. Like, you're getting a few real new ones. This is nice.
Yeah.
This is actually, you did name this award. What did I have originally? Do you guys remember?
You said, I followed it up with Bambi.
I had Nemo's
it was an
mom.
animal. Nemo's
I had Nemo's mom.
Yeah.
Then you went with Bambi's mom, and then you went with Ellie, which really hurt. Frankly, that was
I'm going to say
rude.
this: if Ellie from Up's death doesn't affect you, that is all the confirmation I need to know that you don't feel emotion and are a psychopath.
You're a sociopath. Yeah. Absolutely.
No, it's fair. It was the moment when Jonathan Bailey almost died and fell off that cliff to the point where I screamed. I startled my dog sitting next to me. She thought I was like hurt or something.
How did he survive that fall?
Movie magic. There's no human way.
That was ultimate plot armor. That was not. That was not it. I gave it, and this is weird that I gave it to this because it comes up later why like someone else who I thought it would work, but I went with Ruben, the father of the girls. I think that's just a devastating thing. Anytime you take a parent away from their children in front of their children, I think I weirdly think David Iacono could have also been a pretty tragic kill. Cam Cameron.
I can see it. Bad.
I think if he goes out like a hero, we have a very different reaction to this movie.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, true.
He needs big heroics.
If he's
heroic
that
moment,
yeah. If he's that dickhead, and then
they set him up for it when he's like, where the dad's like, "Oh, she sees you for who you are," and he's like, "Hopefully, she doesn't." That it was right there. It was right there for them to give him a big hero moment. Jake, who you got?
I gave it to Duncan. He was low key. He was my favorite character in the movie.
But they kind of did.
Yeah, but he survives.
Yeah, and then he survives, which I could be wrong. Tinfoil hat's coming on. I think the movie ended with Duncan dying. The studio saw it and went, absolutely the fuck not. We are keeping Mahershala Ali for the entire series. You bring him back to life right now. You bring him back to life right now. Like you bring him back to life right now.
That's the thing. When you were bringing up Scarlett Johansson later on, being like, "Oh, she probably gets 3 movies out of it." I'd rather him be the lead in the next one.
Yeah. No, I think that. Yeah, I think the 3 of them are gonna go for a trifecta. It seems to be the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say I do think Mahershala Ali, Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey.
It's always a 3-headed attack.
Their trifecta, and they're going with that.
Yeah. All right. Just one Oscar. Who gets it?
Mahershala Ali. Easy.
I gave it to SFX. I gave it to the special effects crew.
Yep.
Okay, that's fair actually, because they are the ones that are nominated for the Oscar. So
yep. The company is Industrial Light and Magic. So that's what I wrote down. And it's just for that reason. It's the CGI and they did the CGI for dinosaurs and other prehistoric animals in the movie. So that was my pick pretty easily.
Great. I like them. I can get behind Mahershala Ali as well, though. I think he's his character was given very little to do, but his facial expressions are really good. Like he's a really good face actor, and I think that he made me feel the most in this movie.
Agreed.
I love Jonathan Bailey. I think Jonathan Bailey was wildly inconsequential to this movie at all.
He was.
Yeah. He could have been an AI like a hologram on a phone, and it would have delivered about the same level of emotion.
Yeah, his character needs some significant rewrites going forward to make this trio work.
Some personality, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know how they took someone as charismatic as Jonathan Bailey and really made him boring.
Just made him boring.
Yeah.
But they did that with all of them. And I think Mahershala Ali did his like
he
saving of his character. Yeah, like with his silence. This is my favorite category we're now getting to. Is this movie better with Gwyneth Paltrow, Joe Pesci, Adam Sandler, Viola Davis, Nick Offerman, or Jim Carrey? We have to pick one each. And so as the rules go, at the end of June, I will tally up the totals that everyone has voted for, and we will relegate 3 people off the list and replace them with 3 new actors. But I am going to give my second vote out of 3 votes so far to Nick Offerman. I think he would have been better as Ruben, frankly. I think he would have been a better father. Agreed. I think he would have had more emotion to him. I would have enjoyed that character more. I think he would have been funnier and helped the movie be funny where it desperately needed some humor.
And that's the thing. I feel like it was trying. Like Scarlett Johansson's character kept like ripping one-liners that just didn't land.
Yeah, they were badly written one-liners.
I also went with Nick Offerman, but I did him in place of Ruben Friend's character, the pharmaceutical representative.
Oh, you go villainous.
Yeah, like kind of funny villain. Like tries to play himself off as like he's very clearly like the rich guy in the group. Tries to play himself off as like, oh, I'm just the everyman. Like I'm just the guy the company sent.
It would have been a twist, I think, in that situation. I think he would have had a twist that he's a villain in that situation. I can say before, I mean, I don't know how Trash is voting yet, but I feel like Joe Pesci isn't long for this list.
I actually was going to say Joe Pesci. I think Joe Pesci is a really good Ruben. I think he would have brought that life to the villain that I needed and brought like personality. And I think he would have been very compelling in that role.
Wait, as Ruben or as Martin Friend, the bad guy?
Martin Friend, sorry, the bad guy.
Okay.
Whatever his name. I'm not good at names. Yeah, the bad guy. He's a good villain. I think he would have been a phenomenal villain there.
That's the first vote for Joe Pesci.
I was going to say, I think that means, and I was just, maybe I'm confused. I thought we were keeping the ones who got the least votes.
No, we relegate. Yeah, you get the votes, you stay. You don't, you go.
See, I thought it was flipped. I thought we'd like, because I was thinking like our end of year award, right? Like we would like always nominate the people who get the most votes. And then end of the year, we then pick from the like the highest vote getters for our golden buckets.
Yeah, so we're coming up on season 2 technically of this show. So the way seasons work for us is and I spoke to Seth about this, and we kind of came up with this idea, is that for us in the movie world, the Oscars are our Super Bowl.
That's fair.
So each season starts the week after the Oscars, essentially.
I like it.
So that's kind of where we're at. But I think each new season, maybe we totally refresh the list, or we just keep it. Actually, we could just keep it going and just use it as like, it's just season 2. We do something different, I guess, maybe, or like a special or whatever. I think we're looking to do the 25 best movies of the 2000s to kind of round out this season, which is pretty exciting. So yeah, I think that's kind of where we're at with that. Cool. Did everyone get to vote? So it's 2 for Offerman, 1 for Pesci. Lovely.
Which is a great pick.
That is a great pick. I just no one's picked Pesci yet. So it's Trash. Way to go. Way to get the Joe Pesci pick in. All right, the Cruising Collateral Silverhand Assassin Award for the actor who reinvents themselves in the film. Their hair, their voice, everything. For me, this is David Iacono, who was Cam Cameron on The Summer I Turned Pretty and had me doing what Trash was doing. I was like, is that?
Yeah.
What is that? I know that.
I mean, the fact that I didn't pick up on him being him is definitely, he's got to be my pick too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I actually went with Manuel Garcia Rulfo. I've like been watching Lincoln Lawyer, and so like I'm picturing him in that and like other things that he's in. He typically plays like more of a serious character, like more of a badass, not the like dad like true dad character.
He got cast in this movie, fun fact, because of Lincoln Lawyer.
That makes no sense to me, but I respect it. He's a very underrated actor in my opinion, but just like seeing him in this role versus the other roles I've seen him in, he felt like the biggest like leap of faith for me.
Yeah, he was a swing. I thought he was a swing. All right. Sinners, shot of the film. This is where cinematography nerds get to really kind of splooge everywhere. I have the opening scene where the evil Rex thing eats Snickers Man. I thought it coming out of the mist, like out of the fog, and like as this poor man is like begging for his life, which probably was the best acting performance in the movie, to be honest with you. And then eating him. I always love a good like violent death scene in a movie.
It's a good choice. I went with the scene. I forget what type of dinosaur they are, but where like the two dinosaurs are very clearly like in love, like that's their mate. And then it was just a good reminder because they're like hugging, for lack of a better term, like the dinosaurs are bonding, and then the humans just like walk up and just like stab it in the leg to get the sample that they need. It was just like a really good reminder of like kind of the premise of Jurassic World and Jurassic Park, where it's like these are just animals trying to live their lives, and we're fucking with it as the humans. And so it was just like it was a good scene in my mind that kind of tied, essentially the entire story together in a way.
Yeah, and we also got the theme song in that scene, so that was kind of nice too.
Yeah, I had the same because it's like they come up like out of the grass and it's just like hit with these dinosaurs and like the wild sweeping and the necks and the like. It was very visually beautiful and striking, and it just kind of like
it was nice. It was nice. I love a good wide open shot. It's very Spielbergy, like in that sense, like it's pull back, wide open, all that good stuff. All right, Trash, have you done a LeBron James award before?
Oh yeah.
All right. The LeBron James Decision Award for if this movie is any of the cast or crew's apex of having control of their careers. Let's start with Scarlett Johansson.
No.
I also say no. When do you guys have it? I'm going to say Avengers 1.
Yeah.
I think it's the first Avengers is probably when Scarlett went nuclear, I would say.
First Avengers or sometime in Avengers Endgame, Infinity War, like sometime between those two.
I thought Infinity War, but the issue is that she was not big enough of a part of it. Like no one walked out of there being like, "Oh my god, Black Widow," and then she like instantly is killed. Then she's killed off in Endgame, and so
but
and then it follows up with that awful Black Widow movie, and I'm just
that movie was terrible.
I think she was just red hot coming out of.
Sure.
There's also an argument to be made that it's a Marriage Story. Like she pulled out an Oscar for that. Like it's. Yeah. But I don't think it's this. I certainly don't think it's this.
Yeah,
not this.
There's enough better options. Like it's very clearly not this. I think you could pinpoint probably like 3 or 4 different points in her career that could be it, but it's just absolutely not this movie.
Yeah. All right, I agree. Jonathan Bailey, I have yes.
Fuck no.
I have this is the pinnacle of. All right, can I cook then for a second since I am outvoted? All right, Jonathan Bailey comes off of Wicked, right? Wicked for Good hasn't come out yet. This comes out, so he's off of Wicked, has a blockbuster mega hit, right? And then is shortly after this named Sexiest Man Alive. Because this was such a hit, I'm sure it swayed the voters for Sexiest Man Alive to name him Sexiest Man Alive. And then he follows it up with Wicked for Good. I think Jonathan Bailey, after this comes out, because Wicked for Good, they've already established, like people knew it was going to do well. It didn't do as well as the first one, which we also expected, but it did very well, and they knew it was going to do well. This was a bit riskier, and it showed that, yes, he can lead multiple franchises. I think this is where, if Jonathan Bailey was getting like a lot of offers coming in, it was after this movie where a lot of people were like, "Oh, wait a minute, we want you leading our movie."
I get where you're coming from. I would say I think Bridgerton did more for his career than even Wicked did.
So he was not on my radar. He was not on my radar after Bridgerton. That's the problem, right? Like, I don't think to the average American.
I'm not a Bridgerton fan either. Like, I've watched it, but it's not like I'm like, it's not in my top 50 favorite shows. But
I love Bridgerton. I am biased. I do think it's that time between Bridgerton and Wicked that is his peak. I think he's a little past peak. I think like this time period, he's close to that peak, but this movie is just, it's so not.
Yeah, I don't know. I have it as yes, but I was outvoted, so we're gonna say no. Mahershala Ali, I have no. This is not.
No.
I have it as Moonlight.
It's definitely Moonlight.
Yeah.
Like everyone was talking about him after that movie. You couldn't go down the street and not hear it. Dinosaurs.
Yeah.
No.
I have no. I have the original Jurassic.
I have the original Jurassic Park.
I think the original Jurassic Park is the next one, but I think the dinosaurs themselves.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna say double no. Land Before Time.
For the next one, dinosaur movies. I think it's not the pinnacle of dinosaur movies, but it is for dinosaurs because the original is dinosaur movies.
Yeah, dinosaur movies. No,
I love your argument, Trash. I'm in. You swayed me.
I like Trash's argument because it took my category in a not what I intended way of like how good do the dinosaurs look. I still think the OG Jurassic Park actually does look better in some cases. The T-Rex, you can't beat it because it's a practical effect.
Better for the time, I think, is probably the right argument.
No, you gotta go back and watch it. I just rewatched it not long ago. It looks phenomenal. It holds up.
But if I'm picking something for the way dinosaurs look, and I get they're not dinosaurs, so all you dinosaur lovers in the comments, don't get mad at me. Right around the same time, Godzilla came out, and I think the dinosaurs look better in Godzilla than they did in Jurassic Park.
That's just a Wicked thing to say, but that's
fine. It's
true. Speaking of Wicked, John M. Chu Award for if this movie is too long.
This movie should have been an hour and 21 minutes tops.
Yeah.
This movie is too long. I think there's fat to trim, and it's way too much exposition.
It's the monologues, exactly.
It's the monologues. It's all the monologues.
Yeah.
This movie would have actually been better if no one said anything.
Yeah, if you made this almost silent film.
Yeah. What are we doing? We're doing a dinosaur mission for blood.
Right. Blood or money. I think Scarlett Johansson, should have been her character, much more stoic, much more quiet, because I'm not even kidding. If I'm like sneaking through the jungle and someone's like, "Oh, and did you know that intelligence is not great for survival?" I would have been like, "Shut the fuck up. We're being hunted by like 7,000 different things that could kill us at any minute. Shut up."
We both needed her to be more John Wick.
Yes.
Than she was.
Yeah. And also, guns got used way too late in this movie. That worked very well. She killed something immediately. That I would have been firing just ballistics. Like, it would have been crazy.
The dinosaurs.
I get it. They weren't trying to kill anything. I don't give a shit. As soon as someone's trying to kill me, I'm not trying to kill anything. But if something's trying to kill me,
I love Jonathan Bailey. He can fuck right off with that. Like, it's a sin to kill a dinosaur. Fine. I'll live with it.
Not if we eat it.
And I've sinned.
Yes, I have sinned. Like, don't care. Do not care at all. I can never find this one in our thing, but it's the 15 minutes of lame. There it is. 15 minutes of lame award for part of the movie that is best for a pee break or is skippable. We've kind of beaten it to death. It's that scene on the boat.
It's way too large of a chunk of this movie.
Yeah.
There's arguably 15 minutes that you actually need to watch.
I also thought that the family on the boat at first took a little too long. I didn't like I can't get him out of the boat. I can't get him out of the room.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, there he is. He's fine. That took too long.
Yeah.
You get one dive. I think that's where I'm at. I'm like, you get one dunk and that's it.
I feel like in general, that plot was a little too prominent for why did that plot exist?
Yeah. Why were they there?
Why were they there on the journey? But also, what did they do to advance the movie beyond being helpless civilians that they needed to be saving?
That's the thing.
I think that's a thing. That's like a staple of the Jurassic movies. Is there's kids in danger. Oh, there's a family in danger. So they felt like they had to do it, but it would have been a better movie if they didn't do it.
They needed to find a more clever way to get them involved. I think. We've done this one once. twice, maybe once, I think. Trade deadline deal award for one actor or role the movie could have brought in that would have made it significantly better. Who wants to take this one first?
Me. A dinosaur that could actually kill something would have been cool.
That fucking bird one really fucked that guy right up.
Yeah, but he was going to fall off the cliff anyway. He was an idiot.
He was climbing. He was almost there. He almost made it.
Yeah, and the fact that he didn't, barely had. You could have had him attacked by a woodpecker, and that man would have died.
He was essentially attacked by a giant woodpecker. That's
exactly
what the thing was.
It didn't even need to be that. But like after that T-Rex scene, I was like, oh, the dinosaurs really aren't going to do anything. Like,
what do you say to that man's wife though? Like, hey, I'm sorry, your husband got eaten by a giant pelican. Like, I don't know. What do you even say to someone?
He died. You lie and say he body blocked us. There.
Well, you got to say something. You can't just be like he died. Like, doing what?
He went out a hero.
He went out a hero. Like a giant evil scaled pelican ate him.
That's the thing. I feel like if they just had a stick, you could have just shoved it in the pelican's mouth and it would have just walked around like.
Yeah, it wasn't a very.
The dinosaurs weren't scary after the water ones. I will say the water ones.
Yeah, the water ones were scary.
But after that, like the dinosaurs really weren't that big of a deal.
No, that's fair because the land ones, like they're very pretty, but they weren't very scary.
Yeah,
and also the big bad dino of the movie actually only killed one person. Two people killed Snickers guy and then killed Rupert Friend.
Yeah, the Snickers.
Yeah, no, killed 18 people. Give me a good dinosaur that can murder something.
I have they needed to trade for a better writer who would have leaned more into horror. As Jurassic Park started out, the books are horror novels. They are very scary and they're very brutal. And I think I wanted to see more of that personally.
Just like anyone better for a villain role that I cared about.
That's fair. I like that.
That's so true because I spent the whole movie literally looking at my wife being like, okay, so he's gonna die, but like when? Like it was just so obvious.
Can we just kill him now?
Yeah.
It was very fan service feeling when he died. I didn't like it. I did not like it.
Should have died earlier.
I agree. All right, what script did they get? What script did they get award for an actor who's in a totally different movie? It is fine if you pick no one. I picked someone. This is one of the negative categories. I have the little girl. She was off in La La Land.
She thought she was filming A Quiet Place 3.
She was a mute for the first half of the movie.
And she was like, oh,
character.
What's that?
That's the character, though.
Yeah, it was just bad. It was just bad, but like she didn't fit. It just, she just didn't fit.
Okay,
didn't fit fair. It was bad.
It's everybody got a script and she got 6 pages. Like
she got a little dinosaur friend.
True.
I don't even know why they did that. Like, stop trying to sell toys in every movie. And you know what?
I mean, maybe I'll get to that in another category here then.
I'm sure you will. Trash, who do you got for this one? Do you have anyone? Did you give it to?
I think the little girl can get it.
All right, Jake.
Yeah, I gave it to the little girl.
All right, cool. All right, this is another kind of new one, but we're gonna go for it. The 12 on 10 Cup Award. There it is. 12 on 18 Tin Cup Award for surprising decision made by the filmmakers.
I'm not even going surprising decision made by the filmmakers. I'm going surprising decision by the actual crew. We have drones. You've created a sample retriever that shoots the thing out when it's done and you just go get it. Why are we not doing? You could have done this. This is a rich company. They can find a guy to black market helicopter them in there and just shoot them with the thing from air. This movie should have taken, again, 15 minutes. This should have been a short film.
I agree.
Why are we fucking with dinosaurs still? And I will say that again until they stop making Jurassic movies. Why are we still fucking with the dinosaurs?
I agree. Mahershala Ali surviving at the end was mine.
Ooh.
Because all signs pointed to he wasn't making it. It was supposed. There's no way he was supposed to.
But for the people.
It just felt cheap. It cheapened the whole movie. It left me with a sour taste in my mouth, and I love Mahershala Ali. It just he had a hero moment, and then
better name for the movie, going back to that category, a play on that documentary about that killer. Don't fuck with cats. Just call it Don't Fuck with Dinosaurs.
I love Don't Fuck with Cats. That's a great documentary. Trash, you need to watch it. It's the craziest documentary that's ever been made. It's the craziest thing. Sorta. In like a fucked up way, I guess so.
It's about a murderer.
It's about a murderer.
I don't know.
It starts out with him fucking with cats.
And then people get mad at that and figure out who he is.
Yeah, it's crazy. You just gotta watch it. Did everyone get to go on their 12 on 18 10 cup award before I give out the next one? Sweet. All right. This is the only category that's named after one of the people on this show. The Jake Perry would live in the Millennium Falcon Award for a prop you'd want from set. Jake, this is your category, so you start us off.
I wanted to take the boat, but I knew you'd give me shit about it.
You cannot take the boat.
Why can't you take the boat?
Because,
thank you.
All right. So, you weren't here for this, Trash. This is the first time I get to explain it to you. I always explain this award. I love explaining our awards so much, just why they came up with that. So when Alfredo came on, we did Star Wars, and I asked, what prop would you want from set? And Jake said, I want the Millennium Falcon. And I was like, you can't have that. It doesn't fit in your house. And he said, I would live in the Millennium Falcon. So
it is my house now.
So I'm like,
argument.
So I'm like, it has to reasonably fit. I've saddled Jake with the impossible task, apparently, of picking a prop that will fit in his house.
It's not impossible. You just block me from the good stuff.
You could fit a sailboat in a big house.
Jake, is your house big enough to fit a giant boat?
Fuck no.
All right. Well, there you
go. What if you deconstruct it?
Yeah.
There you go.
I could fit that boat in my backyard.
I'll let it go then. If it can fit in your backyard, I'll let you have the boat.
Perfect. Change my answer from because I knew you wouldn't let me take the boat originally. I wrote the sample gun. You know I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going back on that. No, you can't have the boat. It can't fit in your backyard. I don't know how big your backyard is. If it's like 3 acres big, then you can have anything.
Then I'm selling my house and I'm living on the boat. Suck it, Steve.
Fine.
Yes. I get the boat.
No, you don't get the boat.
My yard is big enough for the boat, so.
Yeah, because you live in the middle of nowhere. There's probably no one near you for another 30 miles.
Kind of.
No, it can't. It has to fit in your house.
I got a pool right behind my house that I'm going to go park that boat in and live on that boat.
Jake, it has to fit in your house. You'd kill 6 of your dogs.
No, they're on the boat too.
They'd be squished. I also went with the dart gun for what it's worth.
The dart gun would be very cool. I kind of want the dinosaur, the little one, little friend. He fits in my house.
I have to allow it.
That's a great answer. Yeah, I'm actually so pissed I didn't think
Is that a prop? Is that a prop because it's like CGI'd?
Yep.
I don't think you can. Trash is like, don't overthink it because otherwise it falls apart.
We're assuming CGI doesn't exist.
Oh, God. All right. Drive-in date night double feature movie to watch with this one. There is no, does it have to be another Jurassic Park? There's I don't give parameters to this. It's just, what do you feel like you want to pair with this? It's like a good wine. You know what I mean? It's like, what's the white wine to this fish?
Oof. I mean, I think if you're going to do, I think a Jurassic double feature makes the most sense, and you do the first because it's the classic. If you're not doing a Jurassic movie, I think Jaws.
Jaws is a great choice.
It's a great choice. I went with Cars.
Explain. Floor is yours.
This movie sucked, and I want to watch something that I enjoy and makes me happy afterwards to make me feel better.
Okay. All right. I'll let that happen. I answered this in earnest, as I tend to do. I went with Annihilation for a better Expedition Gone Wrong movie.
Yeah.
I feel like Annihilation would be a great movie to kind of cleanse your palate.
There's a few different routes with that. If you go that route, there's a few, you could go Interstellar. You could throw it back, go Lost in Space. Very underrated movie, by the way.
I didn't want to go too spacey, but I wanted to stay sci-fi and creature feature almost, which this technically is. And I love the bear in Annihilation and how fucked up and gnarled it is. So I went with that.
It's a great choice.
Yeah. Hot Take Hall of Fame. Spicy opinion about the film that needs defending.
I already know Steve and I's are going to contrast like crazy.
It might. Go ahead.
This is the worst dinosaur movie ever made.
Oh, ours are going to contrast wildly differently.
This I've seen so many good dinosaur movies. This one was ass.
Okay.
I was rooting for the dinosaurs to I'm asking for more dinosaurs to kill people. This is the first dinosaur movie where I've ever been like, I need the dinosaurs to kill more people.
You know why I think this movie didn't have enough dinosaur kills? Maybe I'm wrong. There were no raptors. The Velociraptors do a lot of killing in this series.
They're the best.
Yeah, but then they should have gotten in another killer.
Yeah, they should have.
Yeah. The Velociraptors would, if we're not going to do the original Jurassic World reboot with Chris Pratt, but the Velociraptors would win my MVP award of that movie.
Yes.
They're my favorite part of those movies.
I liked Bryce Dallas Howard in the first one.
She's great. She'd get my one Oscar.
Robinson. I like Nick Robinson as well. I thought he played a good older brother in that movie. Yeah. But I like him in everything. All right, I'll go next because Jake teed me up for it. Even with all its faults, this is still the second best Jurassic Park movie.
What?
No.
I have
so obviously the original is the best, but
the original is the best. If you watch any other Jurassic Park or World, they're all a mess, and they're all like weirdly a mess. A part B to this would have been, this probably should have been, this series should have never been a series. It should have been a one and done, like wham bam, thank you ma'am, like see you later. But it didn't. We have a series, and frankly, this is the one that I thought held, it just was the best of all the rest. Upon rewatch, which I did, I marathoned quite a few of them recently. I do remember the Chris Pratt ones because I watched the original trilogy, and you don't remember it as being like as messy, but The Lost World is a disaster, and then Jurassic Park 3
same
somehow
screenwriter,
gets worse.
Same screenwriter and story.
Yeah,
writer.
So it's like it gets out of hand. Trash. What's your hot take?
I'm definitely not saying that those ones are better, but this is just not the second best. And I too did a Jurassic Park marathon recently because fun fact, so I bought this shirt when I was in Universal Orlando, and when you go to the Uber parking lot, it is the Jurassic Park lot, and they play the Jurassic Park theme song nonstop. So for 45 plus minutes waiting for that Uber driver, that theme song on repeat. Like, could not get it out of my head for days, still struggling.
Nice.
The hot take on this, and it is the hot take of this whole franchise, is just why are we still messing with dinosaurs? I will give you one movie in this franchise to say, okay, let's play with dinosaur DNA and see what happens. It was a terrible idea. Let's never do that again.
Yeah.
Why have we done it so many times since?
Honestly, the entire franchise would have been better if they treated the first one more like almost like a zombie type outbreak where like the dinosaurs got out and there's dinosaurs everywhere and the rest of the movies are us cleaning up the mess of dinosaurs.
Then you have a plot, but like you kept them contained and it was a bad idea and they stayed, but like.
And then it went bad. But you know what? We're going to do it right this time, I think. Except they're not. They're retconning half the shit every other fucking movie.
Yeah. They retconned a lot. To get to your point from the start of the show, Jake, they did, because the dinosaurs at the end of Jurassic World Dominion are like amongst the people, right?
Yeah.
And then this one, they're like, they're kind of just dying. It's not really working.
They're in the equator in the zoo.
Yeah.
Well, and I get
17 years. That's a long time for a big old.
So, like, are there dinosaurs just stomping around like Ecuador?
That's what they make it seem like in this movie. But at the same time, like the dinosaur that kills the guy in the very beginning, that's like 2008, which canonically is before the last 4 Jurassic World movies that we've gotten. And it's like we went back in time to shit. The whole timeline is fucked.
17 years. Like, what is the significance of 17 years? Because that's not a year that applies to any of these franchises.
I didn't even think about it that hard.
I was kind of wondering if that was supposed to be modern day and the rest of it was 17 years in the future. But I'm like, I don't know that makes sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make like we've uninhabited these islands because of the dinosaurs. We're just letting them live there. You can't go there. So then am I supposed to believe that in the future they're suddenly like, oh, rich corporation, you can create more dinosaurs. No, they've already implied that shit has happened in the past. Right. This movie fucked the entire timeline up.
Yeah. They weren't creating more dinosaurs, though. They were just using the dinosaur DNA for science.
Yeah.
But even then, this Jurassic World has turned into Resident Evil, where the last movie just seems to retcon the entirety of the previous film in a lot of ways, and it's dumb and I hate it.
Which segues me right into the legacy test. Is this movie still relevant today, or will it be relevant 5 years from now? No.
Mm-hmm.
No, but it should be a movie that you watch to see how bad it is. Watch the first one and then watch this one, and you go, damn, we went.
You could do that with any of them, though. I truly believe
back, that. With 32 years later, we made such a worse movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Sequels, franchises.
So do we all agree this is a no? This is unanimous no?
Yep, definitely
all right. Did this movie need more gay people?
Yes.
Yeah. Any gay people?
It needed Jonathan Bailey into Mahershala Ali. That's what should have happened.
I would have enjoyed that.
This is a significantly better movie if there's a queer love story between those two going on the entire time, and not tragically divorced Mahershala Ali because his daughter died.
I will say I was kind of glad that there wasn't like an unnecessary romance between.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I
agree. It's kind of nice for a change.
Yeah, a lot of movies would have been like, we're gonna make the dad and Scarlett Johansson fall in love.
Oh my god,
Jonathan Bailey and Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, I feel like they made his character just asexual. Like he only gives a shit about science and the dinos.
Yeah, no, for real. You're absolutely right. All right. Life lesson of the movie.
Stop fucking with dinosaurs.
Yeah, don't fuck with wild animals.
Yeah, don't go to dinosaur infested islands. There we go. That's a killer, guys. Good job. We all had the exact same life lesson of this movie, life lessons of the series, life lesson of all of it.
It did its job.
It did something right.
This is a great PSA for dinosaur infested places. Jared Leto, Doing Too Much award. These are the categories that always go so fast. Like we always kind of burn these ones.
I like nobody.
I went with Scarlett.
I had Mahershala Ali, but in the best way.
There's a good way to do this.
Oh yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. I've given this award out in a good way more times than I haven't.
Yeah, usually if Tilda Swinton's in a movie, she's gonna get it. Like that kind of situation.
Jennifer
Coolidge, great example of that as well. This one is Scarlett for me. I think she was trying really hard to make Zora likable, and was like just laying it on so thick.
You know what would have been way more fun than having her character entirely? Just go full 2026 and we should have made this movie a like a collab between Tomb Raider and Jurassic Park. Like, give me Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, leading this mission.
That would have been fun. Like, I think maybe we need like a crossover event with this.
Yeah,
like, I think that's
I could do an Indiana Jones Jurassic Park crossover.
That would make a lot of sense too.
That would be really fun.
That would make arguably the most sense.
Can I take us on a detour just for a second?
Absolutely.
Because I went and saw Scream 7 this weekend.
Horrible.
I didn't mind it, but it wasn't great. But I love Scream. But let me pitch this to you guys, right? Because I was like, I think we need to let this franchise go. I think it's time for it to end. And this is how I'm like, if you're intent on doing another Scream, here's what I think you do. You let go of all the original cast, right? No more Neve Campbell, no more Courtney Cox. It's over. Let them go. What you do instead of it being like a slasher movie, like it has been, you shift it instead to a procedural like Zodiac, and you make it dark and obsessive, but obsessive for the person trying to solve the crime. Now, the rules of Scream are there's always multiple killers, oftentimes even up to 3. And you make it a trilogy where this detective or this investigator finds one killer per movie, and it's a continuous string of murders. Not a new group each time, and you make it that way. I think Jurassic World needs a hard reboot like that.
Mm-hmm.
Go in a totally different direction.
Scream meets Sinister.
I think Scream meets Zodiac. Like Zodiac was like
give Scream a detective so-and-so.
Yep. Absolutely.
Rest in peace.
Yes. Oh yeah. Is this movie for the girlies, the gays, or the straights? This is a straight person movie. Like, I don't know.
For sure.
It's a straight person movie. It's just like you get guys in there like gawking at Scarlett Johansson. Like, this is a frat boy movie, honestly. Like,
Jurassic Park is for the kids, but this is just for the straights.
Yeah.
I don't have a ton to say on that. Really.
Yeah.
It's just like, meh. It's funny. I don't know if this movie's gonna get a great grade at the end of this thing. You can't handle the truth quote of the movie. I have my favorite quote of the whole movie is, what would I do with mutant dinosaurs from an accounting perspective? Is that really the question? I think that's a hilarious line. Like, it was just in the midst of like chaos breaking out around him.
Yep.
And Jonathan Bailey kind of ate with that line, and I thought it was his best line in the whole movie.
Mine's also a Jonathan Bailey line. It's after Martin Krebs says, "I'm too smart to die," and intelligence is massively overrated as an adaptive trait. I actually laughed out loud at that line.
Yeah, it was a good line. It was solid.
I didn't have any lines that stood out to me, but those are both really good.
That's fine. It wasn't a very quotable movie. Did you guys have a needle drop award? I did not.
I kind of did. Just shouted out getting the original theme song again.
Sure.
Yeah,
I can get behind that. Would having Steven Tyler appear in this movie made it any better?
Yes. No. Him doing the dinosaur screeches.
Oh, okay. Sure.
That would have been
just
fun.
A voiceover role.
This is a rare no for me for Steven. Steven's on a back-to-back no from me. First time ever.
It really is. That's same for me, actually. I'm always in on throwing Steven Tyler and shit, even that he absolutely doesn't belong in.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we usually are pretty generous.
This is my like getting back on the Steven Tyler train after being off for a few movies.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, this is another one, Trash. That's your first time doing it. It's not the first time we've done it, but it's a fun one nonetheless. If this movie was an NFL, NBA, or MLB player, who would it be? Would you like to start us out with this one since it's your first time?
I don't have an answer to this, really. I kind of struggled with this because I'm new and I'm like, I honestly don't know how to take this one.
That's fair. Here, I'll show you. Ready? This movie to me is Ben Simmons. It was supposed to be the next great, but instead of taking the winning shot, it tried to pass and ruined it.
Nice. That's a good one.
I don't think I can beat that.
I went with Kenny Pickett. Like, I knew watching the
its
previews,
hands are too small.
I knew watching the previews that this movie was going to be bad. Like, I knew it was going to be bad. People tried to convince me it wasn't going to be bad. And then it was bad. And I had to be like,
oh, no.
I knew it. I don't know why we're surprised that it's not good.
That's funny. That's a funny one. All right. We're coming to the end here. So it's going to be interesting. Why didn't they just train astronauts to be miners in Armageddon Award for questions you need answered? I have two, and if you don't mind, I would like to ask them both. First off, why the fuck would you sail near that island with your children? It's definitely a famous enough island that you know not to go near it. This is not a surprise that there are dinosaurs there. You would not be the first person to encounter them. This has happened before. And he said he had sailed there multiple times on that route. There's no fucking way that this is a surprise to him. Second,
can I add to that though? Because mine goes right alongside that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Specifically, why did the wife/mother allow that to happen? Because the man, fine, he's stupid. But the fact that they had a mother at home allowing that to happen, excuse you. Yeah. No.
And where was she? She didn't go?
No, because she's not smart. Fucking dumb.
Well, she's dumb enough to let her. Maybe she didn't like her kids.
Fair. Okay.
Maybe she had a big life
the teenager and the boyfriend. Honestly, get rid of them.
Honestly, all of them. Any children.
Yeah, actually, that's fair. Maybe she sent them out with a death wish.
She probably did. Second, there's no fucking way that some government of some country is not patrolling that island every second of every day, being like, you are not getting near this at all. You are not coming near this. There's an island of snakes in Brazil right now that you will be immediately thrown in jail if you even look at like for too long. Like it's these places are not allowed to. You cannot just go to them.
Yep.
Like you can't stumble upon this. You can't black ops your way in there on a shitty boat.
But you know where you can go? There's an island just like the one you're describing, except it's in Florida and it's filled with raccoons, and you can go there. And I'm going to go there before I die, and I'm going to die a happy man because of that.
That's Florida.
Raccoons. They're cute. What's your question, Jake?
I already kind of said it. Like, why didn't they just do this all from a helicopter with drones? Like, drone technology has gotten really far. This movie's in 2025. I know what drones are capable of. They could have done this without any human intervention whatsoever. Plus, why didn't the dinosaurs kill anything? Why were the dinosaurs so? If that's the case, if the dinosaurs are actually this bad at killing people, maybe we should let people on the island because nobody's gonna fucking die.
I feel like a walking path would have gone a long way to keeping people alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple ropes and some sticks in the ground.
What were the dinosaurs eating otherwise? Was it just other dinosaurs? Is that all they ate?
Apparently.
Most
Other
of them were
animals that happen to get
herbivores.
there.
Yeah,
At
but
least
like,
some of that. Well, yeah, I
I'm
guess
so
they're
curious.
eating other
I'm so
dinosaurs.
Is the
confused.
government flying in like a bunch of possum to feed these
Oh,
things?
it's the little goats.
Some invasive species that they're like, we need to get the fuck out of here, like deer around here. They're like, that's it. Hunting season's over. You can trank them, but we got to feed them to the dinosaurs.
They're doing the beaver drops like we tried it after World War II.
But like, what are those giant water ones eating? There's no way there's enough in the ocean that's big enough to feed them.
Dinosaurs.
That's the other thing. How are they not swimming to places where they're a problem?
Well, it's warm though. They're adapted to that climate.
Yeah, but there's no way. Again, there's no way.
Florida.
The government is not letting those dinosaurs in the water survive. If they're hanging down out at the surface that much, they're blowing them up.
That's kind of my whole question in general. And like, let's take out the it's a sin to kill a dinosaur argument because I'm sorry. Maybe that's my line. That's my line. It's a sin to kill a dinosaur. Regardless, why didn't they just kill all the fucking dinosaurs? Just be rid of this problem. Reclaim the equator.
Not to take the show in this direction, but I just watched like us bomb a school like 3 times on the news like today. That island would have been nuked into oblivion.
Yeah.
They would have put all the dinosaurs on it and then been like, clear out. You have 1 day to clear anyone that's there out because we are dropping the nukes.
Just give anybody who played video games in like 2010 a controller that flies an AC-130 and we're going to wipe those kids out, those dinosaurs out, like we just got done in a Modern Warfare 2 lobby.
I think one of 2 things happen. We either nuke the shit out of that island or it turns into some sort of weird Hunger Games death row thing that gets profited on.
Would have been a better movie if we did the Hunger Games on a dinosaur island.
What was that movie with Stone Cold where he plays a prisoner and they have to kill each other? That would have been sick on this island.
Been way better.
Yeah.
Actually, a good way to use dinosaurs in a movie.
You got me thinking about like a dinosaur Hunger Games.
It'd kind of be sick.
I'm telling you, you do the Hunger Games on that island, that would have been sick.
Mm-hmm.
And the dinosaurs aren't even a threat. That's the best part.
Yeah, most of the time they're going to do nothing. One person's going to get eaten. That's it. And it's the villain. The Hey I Know Them award for an actor you can't name but know from like 10 different projects. This is Rupert Friend to me like all day, including Sunday.
It's a great answer. It's not my answer. My answer is unfortunately Mahershala Ali.
Yeah.
Like I knew who he was, but I've seen Moonlight. Like I've watched a lot of stuff that he's been in. I just never knew his name.
I didn't recognize him until after the movie, and I was like looking up the cast, and I was like, oh. I'm just bad at recognizing people.
That's crazy. I never really thought of him as like that guy award.
I think he actually, now that I'm thinking about it, would have qualified really well for the Tom Cruise in Collateral award. Because I was kind of the same way, Trash. I was like, what do I know this guy from? And then I looked it up afterwards and I was like, I'm a fucking idiot.
All right, this one, Joey, if you watch this episode, I want to thank you because you've changed the way recast works. And now there's rules to it, which is so weird and it's so nice. I love it.
No, I loved this challenge.
Yeah. So Joey last week had us recast Sinners as if it was a 80s or 90s Spike Lee joint. And I'm like, I am from now on going to make us like recast these things as if it was a blah, 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 blah.
This was the best change that we have ever made to the awards, flat out.
It is recast as if this was a Disney movie from 2005. And we just recast the trio because everyone else is inconsequential. So starting with Zora, who was played by Scarlett. Trash, who'd you go with?
So I have 2 answers. One of them is kind of like the real answer for someone else, and it's Jessica Alba. I think she was kind of like in her bag at this time. I think she could seamlessly step into this role. However, Scarlett Johansson was also kind of blowing up at the same time in 2005. I might keep Scarlett Johansson.
They might have. They might have.
I respect
I like Jessica Alba a lot, though.
That's a good pick.
That's a great pick. That's kind of like, it's sad that that's such a kind of an in your bag pick. You know what I mean? Like, because Jessica Alba should have been bigger, and she just wasn't.
She should have been bigger. This would have been perfect for her, and she could have like done a lot.
Yeah.
Been, like,
This movie would have been better if it came out in 2005.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. I was thinking Disney 2005, and one name came to mind, and I was like, it's Keira Knightley.
Yeah.
This is Keira Knightley's role.
Good pick.
Yep.
She crushes. She comes in there and crushes.
She crossed my mind for it.
Yeah, I went a very different route than everybody here.
Did you go Disney Channel?
Yeah,
I almost did that. I was like, wait, Disney movie.
And just wait, you're gonna notice something real quick. I went with Vanessa Hudgens.
Yes.
I'll just say all of mine.
To the center of the earth one.
No, I'll just say this right now. I basically just recast. I turned High School Musical into this movie.
I love it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so was Duncan?
It's Corbin Bleu.
It's Corbin Bleu, obviously,
and Henry is Zac Efron.
Okay, I watched the shit out of this movie with the three of them.
I'm like looking up Disney movies from the era, and then it like clicks in my head. I'm like, holy shit, Disney Channel original High School Musical. I'm just doing that. I'm doing the cast of that. Okay. If you gave me every person in that movie to recast, I could have made it work.
I think
Rupert Friend, the guy who plays Ryan.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
The daughter, Ashley Tisdale.
Who'd you go with for Duncan? Trash.
For Duncan, I went with Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel.
I did almost actually, because I saw when I was looking up Disney movies, I saw The Pacifier. I almost went that way.
It's Vin Diesel in The Pacifier, exactly.
100%.
I went with Shamar Moore. He's good to look at. He's just dummy hot.
Trash Criminal Minds, SWAT.
Yeah.
Kind of the big
I don't know those ones, but I'm looking at a picture of
him. And then for Henry, I went with Heath Ledger.
I also almost did. My almost Henry was Johnny Depp.
Yeah. So similarly, I went with Orlando Bloom, and that's kind of why I didn't go Keira Knightley, because then I worried I was doing two Pirates of the Caribbean. However, you could absolutely do this Pirates of the Caribbean and do Johnny Depp with Duncan.
Absolutely could.
I will say Disney kind of crushed the early to mid 2000s casting.
I think their casting is always pretty good. Speaking of which, we're gonna get Catherine Hahn as Mother Gothel official.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
It's come down.
Perfect. I'm sorry.
Perfect. That was the easiest casting that's ever existed. Yeah. That was like, nope, here you go. All right. Moment of truth. Final rating. Jake is usually more lenient than I am. I'm curious if that will be the case today.
Let's find out. 2.7.
Oh, no. I have it as a 5.4.
So I'm exactly half of you.
Yes.
Jeez.
You're very
I went with a 6, which is like exactly in between the popcorn meter and the tomato meter. So I feel like I'm the average.
Yeah. This movie doesn't meet, like, I don't ever need to watch this movie again.
Oh, certainly not.
I don't know if I ever have to.
And
watch
like
it again.
5 is like my minimum if I want to watch the movie again. Like this is not even halfway to like getting to.
If we're going by that standard, it's a 4. I'm not watching it again, but it was like entertaining enough while it happened.
For me, like if you cross a 5, if you're in like a 5 to 6 range, like that's kind of like I would throw it on like a movie night, like with people around that doesn't have to like watch. You know what I mean?
Okay. No, it's not.
So yeah. All right. Well, that kind of brings us to the sad part of the episode where it's time for us to say goodbye to the people. We have so much planned for you all coming up because my goodness, we are welcoming our first ever like actor to the program next week. Jake, you and I are welcoming Sarah Tomko of Resident Alien. She plays Asta, and I love her in that show. She seems wonderful, and we're watching Tombstone, which is so exciting. Love Tombstone. And then we're welcoming Wyatt onto the show as well, and we're watching Weapons.
We got some bangers coming up, and I've got a few potential guests in the pipeline as well that I know will pick some great movies. So,
oh my God, I'm so excited. I am so excited. If you've rode with us for this long, why aren't you subscribed yet? We have a whole channel here, and all we do is talk movies all the time, ad nauseum.
It's true.
If you have made it this long, and I didn't quite get to it, but I will do so now. I'll do a quick little plug if you'll allow me. You can go from a background actor to the main cast right here with the IBT Entertainment family. How do you like that? It's brand new and free to join. You can gain access to our chat with our analysts and memorabilia giveaways and fantasy leagues, like our currently running Survivor 50 league. If you upgrade to $3.99 a month or $36 for the year, you unlock a whole bunch of new and exciting opportunities, including the football, racing, golf families. You can sign up for free at in-betweenmedia.com/chat or with the link in the episode description. Jake, how'd I do?
That was your best one yet.
I thought that was pretty good considering I had to like kind of tack it on at the end there.
Yeah, that was easily your best one yet.
Well, for myself, for Trash Sandwiches, for Jake Perry, for Dinosaur Kind, that's a wrap. See you later, everybody.